And how to break this stew, H. But if you weren't in the royal family, M wouldn't be with you.
Now, I was curious what they did with Harry and Meghan's wax figures, so I found a museum employee who's temporary.
The royal family, right, if you can imagine, they're like our Kardashian. Prince Harry is very much our Kanye. He occasionally dresses as
I watched the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary. Now, I'll be honest with you, before I watched it, I was not a fan of theirs. But now I've actually heard their side of the story.
Meghan Markle. Seemed like a nice lady, just complaining. I was like, didn't she hit the light skin lottery? And still going on complaining, acting all dumb like she don't know nothing.
One time, I just woke up, I'm in my underwear, I plop down in front of the TV, I turn it on. The moment I turn it on, Prince Harry's talking shit about me. I'm like,
got out of coughing and then became a food broker, which we're like, come on, that's what? CIA, right?
Yes.
And he's like, no, I really am a middleman for jars of jam.
He works for Meghan Markle.
Yes.
Really tiny jams, harvestable jams.
Yes, exactly.
Made from the oils of Montecito.
Harry said racism was a big part of their decision to leave, which you know things are bad at Buckingham Palace if they came to America to get away from racism.
I fucking hate them.
a Nazi, and he f***ed up.
NBC has announced plans for a spin-off to the hit series Suits. It will focus on Meghan Markle's character's struggle to balance her legal career while also caring for an unemployed immigrant.
Just shave it, Will.
Okay, just shut up about the hair.
What hair?
In California, we're just a regular couple living close to Oprah and far from the paparazzi. But not too far.
What? Simon Brocken sat down to watch Harry and Meghan's Netflix documentary, expecting to gain a better understanding of their side of the story. Instead, he walked away more critical than ever. And he didn't just criticize the documentary, he completely roasted the couple's now famous H&M nicknames, turning them into the punchline of a joke that quickly caught people's attention.
They started off and they're making interesting points about racism and misogyny. Then they start calling each other H&M, and I just thought, oh, do f*** off.
His reaction reflected what many viewers were saying online. The documentary started by addressing serious topics and raising important questions, but for some audiences, those messages were overshadowed by moments that felt overly dramatic. Critics argued that details like referring to each other by corporate-style initials made it harder to take the story seriously. And speaking of hilarious reactions, Ryan Reynolds and Conan O'Brien later had some unforgettable things to say about Meghan's jam business. We'll get to that shortly, but first, there's much more you need to hear from Brocken.
Harry starts describing this one date with Meghan as the night, let me quote you here, me and M pulled the pin on a fun grenade. I actually started rooting for Prince Andrew.
That's what I'm talking about. This shit means something to me, man. The moment Brocken couldn't stop talking about was Harry's description of dating Meghan as pulling the pin on a fun grenade. The phrase sounded so exaggerated and theatrical that it became unintentionally funny. The comment quickly became one of the most mocked lines from the documentary, leaving viewers laughing, cringing, and wondering how it ever made the final cut. Brocken then shifted his attention to one of Meghan's most controversial claims.
Harry says, how do you explain to someone who've just started dating that they have to curtsy to your own grandmother?
How do you explain that you bow to your grandmother and that you will need to curtsy, especially to an American? Like, that's weird.
And I'm thinking, maybe just tell her that your grandmother is the fucking queen.
Harry suggested that explaining royal customs, such as curtsying to the queen, was somehow a complicated and difficult conversation. Critics weren't buying it. Meghan attended a prestigious university, had access to endless information online, and was joining one of the most famous institutions in the world. For many viewers, the idea that royal etiquette came as a complete surprise felt difficult to believe. Brocken argued that a few minutes of research could have answered many of those questions long before the wedding.
They were complaining that to pay for their own security. They were not happy about that. Yeah, they were very worried about their safety, which I get that aspect of things. After 6 episodes, I wanted to attack them.
But his strongest criticism focused on the couple's ongoing security complaints. Brocken argued that hearing multimillionaires express frustration about funding their own protection felt disconnected from the struggles ordinary people face every day. While many families worry about paying bills, rent, and everyday expenses, the couple's complaints struck some viewers as hard to relate to. His joke that 6 episodes of the documentary left him exhausted perfectly captured what critics described as fatigue with the pair's constant grievances. He then delivered his most controversial conclusion about why Meghan was interested in Harry in the first place.
Don't know how to break this stew, H. But if you weren't in the royal family, M wouldn't be with you.
According to Brodkin, Meghan's interest wasn't simply about Harry as a person. He argued that the royal title, global recognition, and influence that came with being a prince were major factors in the relationship's appeal. In his view, the crown brought a level of status and worldwide attention that few people could ever achieve. Without that royal connection, Brodkin suggested, Harry would have been just another wealthy celebrity living in California rather than a global headline maker. But Brodkin wasn't alone in questioning their story. Comedian Chris Rock had his own sharp take on Meghan's complaints and claims of ignorance about royal life.
Meghan Markle. Seemed like a nice lady, just complaining. I was like, didn't she hit the light skin lottery? And still going on complaining, acting all dumb like she don't know.
Chris Rock argued that Meghan's victim narrative becomes harder for some people to accept when viewed alongside the extraordinary privileges that came with marrying into one of the world's most famous families. Instant global fame, enormous opportunities, and worldwide recognition created a level of visibility most people could only dream of. According to Rock, that contrast is exactly why many viewers struggle to connect with the couple's complaints.
Gone on Oprah, I didn't know. I had no idea how racist they were. It's the royal family. You didn't Google these motherfuckers? They're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby's gonna be. I'm like, that's not racist. Because even black people want to know how brown the baby gonna be. Shit.
He also challenged Meghan's claim that she knew very little about royal life before meeting Harry. As an educated woman with internet access and years of royal coverage available at her fingertips, critics argued that it would have been nearly impossible to remain completely unaware of what life inside the monarchy involved. For many observers, that explanation simply didn't hold up under scrutiny, and Rock wasn't afraid to point out what he saw as obvious inconsistencies. One of Rock's most talked about observations came when discussing the controversy surrounding comments about Archie's appearance. Speaking from his own experience, he argued that families of every background often speculate about what a baby might look like. His point was that curiosity about physical traits can be a common family conversation rather than automatic evidence of prejudice. The remark sparked intense debate, but it also became one of the most widely discussed reactions to Harry and Meghan's claims. Colin Jost's joke landed because of what it implied rather than what it directly said. His punchline suggested that Harry and Meghan had reached an unusual point where neither side seemed eager to embrace them. It was classic SNL humor, sharp, sarcastic, and guaranteed to get people talking.
President Trump also announced a new trade deal with the UK that will reopen British markets for American companies. All that Britain demands in return is that we keep these.
Jost then compared Harry's decision to leave royal life with Elon Musk's controversial takeover of Twitter. Comparison painted both choices as bold moves that looked promising at first but later faced intense public criticism. Whether fair or not, the analogy quickly became one of the night's most memorable jokes. But perhaps the harshest criticism came from Kelly Osbourne, who didn't appear interested in softening her opinions.
Elon built electric cars, he's going to Mars. Why is he even involving himself with Twitter? It would be like if the Prince of England gave it all up just to marry an actor from Suits.
Kelly's comments were direct, blunt, and completely unfiltered. Unlike a scripted comedy routine, her remarks came across as personal opinions rather than carefully crafted punchlines. She made it clear that she had little sympathy for Harry's public image, and her honesty quickly caught people's attention.
I think Harry's a f***ing twat.
One of Kelly's strongest criticisms centered on what she described as Harry's victim mentality. She acknowledged that mental health challenges are real and deserve compassion, but argued that many people face similar struggles without the privilege, resources, or financial security available to someone in Harry's position. That contrast, she suggested, is why some members of the public struggle to relate to his story.
A whining, whinging, complaining, woe is me, I'm the only one that's ever had mental problems.
Kelly also revisited Harry's past controversies, arguing that he has often asked others for understanding while being less willing to extend that same grace to people close to him. Whether audiences agreed with her or not, her comments added another layer to the ongoing debate surrounding the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. But even after all those celebrity roasts, the funniest moment was still yet to come. Ryan Reynolds and Conan O'Brien's hilarious exchange about Meghan's lifestyle brand had the audience in stitches. Before we get to that unforgettable clip, there's one more chapter in the story you need to hear.
Like, my life was so hard. Everybody's life is hard.
Yeah,
you were
true.
the prince of
That's
a
true.
goddamn country who dressed up as a Nazi, and now you're trying to come back as the Pope? Suck it.
The jokes kept coming at the Golden Globes, where Joe Coy took aim at Harry and Meghan's Netflix partnership. His punchline centered on the enormous expectations that come with major streaming deals and questioned whether the couple had delivered enough original content to justify the reported investment. The joke resonated in a room filled with actors, producers, and creators who regularly release films and television projects. And just when it seemed the criticism couldn't get any louder, Saturday Night Live stepped in once again, this time with jokes aimed directly at Meghan's acting career.
Turns out Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will still get paid millions of dollars for doing absolutely nothing. And that's just by Netflix.
Saturday Night Live didn't hold back when it came to Meghan's acting career. The sketch pointed out an uncomfortable reality. Many people had never even heard of Suits until Meghan Markle became engaged to Prince Harry. Critics joked that without the royal connection, the series might have remained a relatively niche cable drama rather than suddenly becoming a global talking point. One joke landed especially hard.
My brother's fiancée, Miss Meghan Markle, is on the American program Suits.
Yes, Wednesdays, 8 p.m, USA Network.
The only difference between that show and this is people watch this one. Whenever the kids are being fussy and not going to bed, she puts on an episode of Suits and they're out. So,
What are you doing? Ow! Stop it!
Stop.
Comedians quipped that episodes of Suits could double as a sleep aid for children. It was a brutal roast, suggesting that Meghan's acting legacy had become less memorable for its entertainment value and more useful for helping people drift off to sleep. But the comedy world wasn't finished yet. British comedian Jimmy Carr soon delivered observations that cut even deeper.
I said Meghan Markle is, of course, a lifelong feminist, which she's demonstrated by marrying a prince and giving up her job.
Carr highlighted what he viewed as a contradiction at the center of Meghan's public image. He argued that she built much of her brand around independence and empowerment, only to later step into one of the world's most traditional institutions through marriage. Whether people agreed with the comparison or not, the contrast became a frequent topic among critics and comedians alike.
Harry and Meghan say they'd now like to split their time between spending your money in the UK and spending your money in Canada.
He then turned his attention to the couple's financial and security controversies. Carr joked that Harry and Meghan seemed determined to enjoy the advantages of multiple countries while expecting others to absorb the costs. The punchline resonated because it tapped into a broader criticism that the couple often speaks about independence while remaining connected to institutions they publicly criticize. One of the strangest twists in the ongoing saga came when Joe Rogan found himself unexpectedly mentioned by Prince Harry. The situation surprised many observers. After stepping away from royal life to escape constant public scrutiny, Harry was suddenly commenting on American media personalities and podcast hosts thousands of miles away.
One time, I just woke up, I'm in my underwear, I plop down in front of the TV, I turn it on. The moment I turn it on, Prince Harry's talking shit about me. I'm like,
Rogan's response was the complete opposite of what many expected. Rather than launching into a heated counterattack, he treated the situation with humor and self-awareness. His willingness to openly discuss criticism and acknowledge mistakes became one of the reasons the clip gained so much attention online. Meanwhile, the jokes surrounding Harry and Meghan continued to spread across late-night television.
he's like, Joe Rogan's giving out dangerous vaccine misinformation. And my first thought was, did I? I might have.
Even the couple's nicknames became comedy material. Comedians mocked the dramatic build-up surrounding why they call each other M and H, pointing out that the grand reveal was simply their initials. Critics argued that moments like these reflected a tendency to present ordinary details as groundbreaking revelations, which only fueled further mockery.
Meghan Markle has finally revealed why she and Prince Harry call each other M and H.
And he'll say M and you'll say H and your friends say M and it just is a thing.
It's a thing.
And do you both love it?
Yes, and I like nicknames a lot.
What could it be? A mystery for the ages.
The criticism soon became more personal when Jimmy Kimmel weighed in on Harry and Meghan's decision to relocate to the United States. Kimmel questioned the logic behind some of the explanations given for their move, arguing that the reasoning raised more questions than answers. His remarks sparked debate among audiences and added another chapter to the growing list of celebrity reactions surrounding the couple.
Racism was a big part of their decision to leave, which you know things are bad at Buckingham Palace if they came to America to get away from racism.
Jimmy Kimmel didn't stop at criticizing the couple's decisions. He also took a playful jab at Harry's appearance. Comparing the prince to Screech from Saved by the Bell, Kimmel delivered one of the night's biggest laughs. The punchline suggested that if their children inherited more of Meghan's features, they might not be complaining. The audience erupted, but the celebrity roasting was far from over. Conan O'Brien soon took things in an even stranger direction.
They should hope that the kid looks more like Meghan than Harry. No offense, but Harry kind of looks like the guy who played Screech, may he rest in peace.
Conan introduced a comedy sketch centered on Harry and Meghan's wax figures after they were reportedly removed from the museum display. The premise alone had the audience laughing, with the comedians imagining what happened once the statues were taken off public view. For many viewers, the sketch reflected the ongoing conversation about the couple's changing public image.
I was curious what they did with Harry and Meghan's wax figures, so I found a museum employee who's temporarily storing them.
Then came the moment that made the entire segment unforgettable. Before anyone even asked, Conan jokingly insisted that nobody had used the wax figures for anything inappropriate. The completely unnecessary denial only made the joke funnier. From there, the absurd humor escalated as each punchline became more outrageous than the last, leaving the audience laughing harder with every passing minute.
Oliver, you have generously offered to keep the wax figures of Harry and Meghan safe.
Yeah, that's correct. And if I may, I would just like to say that I'm definitely not using the wax figures for sex. They are in a loving home, and I treat them better than the museum ever did. They didn't appreciate Meghan's soft hands or Harry's supple lips.
The sketch became even more bizarre as Conan joked about treating the wax figures better than the museum ever had, even making oddly specific comments about Meghan's soft hands and Harry's lips. It was exactly that level of strange detail that made the bit both awkward and hilarious. But while comedians were busy roasting the couple on television, actress Alexandra Daddario shared a real-life story that sparked another conversation entirely.
Markle has ruined your workout regime. Is this true? If so,
yes, she has.
During an interview, James Corden couldn't understand how simply running into Meghan Markle could possibly disrupt someone's workout routine. It sounded like an exaggeration, until Alexandra explained exactly what happened.
Well, she came into New York last weekend,
Yeah.
and she went to a yoga place called Moto Yoga, which is my yoga place. It's where I always...
Alexandra revealed that Meghan once visited her regular yoga studio in New York. According to her, the unexpected celebrity appearance instantly transformed the normally peaceful environment into a media spectacle. Cameras, attention, and excitement followed, creating an entirely different atmosphere for the studio's regular members.
I have places in LA and New York, but now that she went there, everyone's going to want to go there, and there's not going to be any room. It's going to be harder to get into.
Critics argued that moments like this highlight one of the biggest challenges surrounding celebrity culture. A single high-profile visit can completely change an ordinary public space for everyone else. But the harshest jokes weren't about Meghan's public appearances, they were about her business ventures. During one interview, Ryan Reynolds shared a story about his father's career, giving Conan O'Brien the perfect setup for another unforgettable punchline. The moment Ryan mentioned jars of jam, Conan instantly connected the story to Meghan's lifestyle brand. The timing couldn't have been better. His exaggerated jokes about artisan jams, exclusive preserves, and luxury branding had the audience roaring with laughter. The comedy wasn't really about the jam itself, it was about the premium lifestyle image surrounding the product. But comedian Tim Dillon offered his own theory about why branding like this continues to attract attention. According to Tim, luxury lifestyle brands rarely succeed because the products are dramatically better. Instead, they succeed because they sell an identity. Consumers often pay higher prices for ordinary items when those products are marketed as symbols of sophistication, exclusivity, or elevated living. In his view, the branding, not the jam, is what people are really buying.
Out of copying and then became a food broker, which we're like, come on, that's CIA, right?
Yes.
And he's like, no, I really am a middleman for jars of jam.
He works for Meghan Markle.
Yes.
Really tiny jams, harvestable jams.
Yes, exactly.
Made from the oils of Montecito.
Well, what's brilliant about what she's doing is she knows people want to spend money, and spending money makes them feel like they're getting something that's better, even though it might not necessarily be true. She just thinks we're all monsters, and we're all just kind of pigs in the mud, and that she's helping us with jam and honey.
Tim argued that the entire strategy revolves around aspiration rather than necessity. Supporters may see it as smart luxury marketing, while critics view it as elitist and disconnected from everyday consumers. Whatever the case, Meghan's business ventures continue to spark debate alongside her public image. At the same time, speculation about Harry and Meghan's future continues to dominate headlines, with constant rumors surrounding their media partnerships, business projects, and next career moves. Whether those reports prove accurate or not, one thing is undeniable: the Duke and Duchess of Sussex remain two of the most talked about figures in entertainment and the royal world. Now it's your turn. Do you agree with Simon Brodkin's criticism, or do you think Harry and Meghan deserve more understanding? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more celebrity news, royal updates, and the biggest stories everyone is talking about.